I would speak with Bernie every Wednesday evening at 7 p.m. in my office, and we did this for over a course of years.
I built my confidence up to a level where I sort of felt that there was nothing that I couldn't attain.
In the world of high finance, few names are as infamous as Bernie Madoff. On December 11, 2008, the financial world was rocked by the revelation that Madoff, a respected Wall Street financier, had orchestrated the largest Ponzi scheme in history. Over several decades, Madoff defrauded thousands of investors out of an estimated $65 billion, promising consistently high returns on investments that did not exist. The scandal not only devastated the lives of his victims, but also exposed significant flaws in the regulatory system meant to protect investors. Join us as we delve into the rise and fall of Bernie Madoff, unraveling the intricacies of his fraudulent empire and the impact of his deceit.
When it comes to the late Ponzi schemer Bernie Madoff, you could truly write a book.
You start out, at least in my part, not exactly sure what I wanted to do in life other than be a success.
Madoff's early career and rise to prominence. Bernie Madoff began his career in finance in 1960, founding Bernard L. Madoff Investment Securities, LLC. Over the next few decades, he built a reputation as a savvy and trustworthy financier, becoming chairman of the NASDAQ stock exchange in the early 1990s. Madoff's firm was renowned for its consistent, above-average returns, attracting a diverse clientele, including wealthy individuals, charities, and institutional investors. His rise to prominence masked the intricate Ponzi scheme that would later become the largest financial fraud in history. Mechanics of the Ponzi scheme. Bernie Madoff's Ponzi scheme operated by using funds from new investors to pay returns to earlier investors, creating the illusion of a profitable and legitimate business. From the 1970s until his arrest in 2008, Madoff promised consistently high returns, claiming to use a split-strike conversion strategy. However, instead of investing the money, Madoff deposited it into a Chase Manhattan bank account. He fabricated account statements and trade confirmations to maintain the deception. The scheme began to unravel in late 2008, when the financial crisis prompted many clients to withdraw their investments, leading to a liquidity crisis. On December 11, 2008, Madoff was arrested and confessed to orchestrating the fraud, revealing the true extent of his $65 billion deception, the role of family and associates.
And you think that's on the level? You think Ruth Madoff really didn't know what a Ponzi scheme was?
I don't believe that she really understood what was going on, no.
Involved several family members and close associates, many of whom held key positions in his firm. His brother, Peter Madoff, served as chief compliance officer and senior managing director. Madoff's sons, Mark and Andrew, were directors of trading, although they claimed to be unaware of the fraud. Ruth Madoff, Bernie's wife, managed the firm's books. Longtime associates, including Frank DiPascali, the firm's chief financial officer, and several accountants and employees, were also complicit in perpetuating the scheme. While some family members professed ignorance of the fraud, others were deeply involved in its operation, raising questions about their level of awareness and participation in the largest financial scam in history. Impact on victims. Impact of Bernie Madoff's Ponzi scheme on victims was catastrophic, affecting thousands of individuals, charities, and institutional investors worldwide. High-profile victims included celebrities like Steven Spielberg and Kevin Bacon, financial institutions such as HSBC and Banco Santander, and charitable organizations like the Elie Wiesel Foundation for Humanity. Many lost their life savings, with individual losses ranging from thousands to millions of dollars. Charities were forced to close due to the depletion of their funds, and investors who relied on their income returns faced financial ruin. In total, it is estimated that Madoff's fraud caused losses of around $65 billion, leaving a legacy of financial devastation and broken trust in the financial system. Failures of regulatory agencies. The Bernie Madoff Ponzi scheme exposed significant failures within regulatory agencies. particularly the Securities and Exchange Commission, SEC. Despite receiving numerous warnings and complaints about Madoff's suspiciously consistent returns and opaque investment strategies, the SEC conducted several investigations, but failed to uncover the fraud. Whistleblower Harry Markopoulos repeatedly alerted the SEC to the improbability of Madoff's returns, yet his warnings went unheeded. The Financial Industry Regulatory Authority, FINRA, and other oversight bodies also missed red flags. These failures highlighted systemic issues within regulatory agencies, including inadequate resources, insufficient expertise, and a lack of coordination. The scandal ultimately led to calls for major reforms to enhance oversight and prevent future frauds of a similar magnitude. Arrest, trial, and sentencing.
It was not immediately clear who killed whom. Bernie Madoff, who admitted to orchestrating the largest Ponzi scheme in history, died in federal prison in Butner, North Carolina last year.
Bernie Madoff's arrest on December 11, 2008, marked the culmination of one of the most infamous financial fraud cases in history. After his sons reported him to the authorities, Madoff confessed to operating a Ponzi scheme that defrauded investors of approximately $65 billion. His arrest led to a swift trial, where he pleaded guilty to 11 federal felonies, including securities fraud, investment advisor fraud, and money laundering. In June 2009, Madoff was sentenced to 150 years in federal prison, the maximum allowed under law, for orchestrating the largest Ponzi scheme ever discovered. His sentencing underscored the severity of his crimes and provided a measure of justice for his thousands of victims. Aftermath and reforms in financial regulation.
He's brilliant. He's cordial, in many ways very friendly.
I sort of rationalized that what I was doing was okay. It wasn't going to hurt anybody. It was a temporary thing, and because of the success that I've had.
The scandal exposed critical weaknesses in oversight and investor protection, prompting calls for stricter regulations and enhanced transparency measures. In response, the Securities and Exchange Commission, SEC, and other regulatory bodies implemented reforms to improve their detection capabilities, such as increasing staff expertise and enhancing surveillance technology. Legislation like the Dodd-Frank Wall Street Reform and Consumer Protection Act aimed to prevent future financial crises and fraud by imposing stricter rules on financial institutions and enhancing whistleblower protections. So that's it for today. Hope you enjoyed the video. If you did, like, share, and subscribe to our channel Luxury 4U. Until the next video, bye.